Hey everyone, it's Lars here, and welcome back to Virtual Paddock. Today, for the first time in Le Mans Ultimate. Now, I have made a video about this sim before, but that was just after it was announced back in June of 2023. I made a video called My First Thoughts on Le Mans Ultimate. And admittedly, it was quite pessimistic, to the point that I even said, I'll believe it once it's already out. Primarily because the whole project is backed by Motorsport Games, and they do not have a good track record in the sim racing world. Quite a history of promising a big new title only for it to be cancelled later. But I'm very happy that that didn't happen this time. So credit where credit's due. Now, the actual development of this sim was of course handled by Studio 397, and we pretty much knew from the start that this sim would be very closely related to rFactor 2. But because of that, I had two more points of criticism. The first of which was server issues during online races. Probably a bit unfair to mention that point, because I merely based it on the server issues that appeared during the 24 hours of Le Mans virtual races. And there have been more endurance races than just those in RF2, even 24-hour races, which to my knowledge didn't have those issues. There haven't been any endurance races held in Le Mans Ultimate, at least that I know of. But this time, I want to be more optimistic. My second point of criticism was related to hybrid power units. Because as far as I knew at the time, RF2 did not simulate hybrids. I didn't know if the engine was actually capable of doing so. And for me, simulating the hybrid would be a must in Le Mans Ultimate. But it turns out that I was just plain wrong on this one. Someone mentioned in the comments that the BTCC DLC for RF2 does have hybrids. And that obviously means that the engine is capable of simulating it. And now in Le Mans Ultimate, the hypercars obviously do have properly simulated hybrid powertrains. I haven't really learned about the specifics of each car yet. That's going to take quite some time. But I'm glad to see that my assumptions were wrong. And now, there's only one more thing left to do for me. Let's check out the driving experience in Le Mans Ultimate. Alright, so here we are in the Ferrari 488 GTE at Imola. And by the way, the reason I'm only checking out this sim now, even though it's been out for like half a year, is because my previous computer wouldn't have been able to handle it. At least not in combination with recording. But recently I got a new one, so I decided to finally check this sim out. First thing you notice when you go out on track is definitely cold tires. It takes quite a while to get them up to temperature. It's also very easy to notice that both the visuals and the force feedback all feel very similar to rFactor 2. In fact, when I first tried the sim, and with complete default settings in both the sim and in FanaLab, I had the same problem they used to have with RF2, which was that with all the default settings, the force feedback always felt kind of numb to me in terms of feeling what the front tires were doing. But then, back then for RF2, and actually that was when I had my CSW, I then asked on Reddit and someone told me that essentially the key was to turn the damping down a bit in FanaLab. That improved things a lot. So I tried that for this sim also, and it immediately improved things massively. And actually, once you've adjusted the force feedback settings, it feels fantastic. So you can very clearly feel what the tires are doing. Feel very connected to the road. Yeah, as I mentioned at the beginning, the way it looks also reminds me of RF2. Though I would say that the Le Mans Ultimate, I think, looks better. And then also, it's been ages since I last played RF2. Even though I have also installed it on this PC, but I haven't run it yet. Be quite careful on the brakes, because this being a GTE car obviously does not have ABS.
That time was a 1:47.97.
Bit of a lock up. Now, given that I've only had this PC for about a week, I've obviously only had a week to try Le Mans Ultimate, but I'm really enjoying the sim. It honestly kind of makes me feel bad about the video where, I mean, on the thumbnail I did phrase it as a question, but the thumbnail was like, doomed from the start? And the answer is obviously not. I'm really excited to eventually try endurance racing in this. I mean, one of my favorite endurance races that I've ever done was a 24-hour of Le Mans race in iRacing back in 2020, when my team actually, with like 90 minutes to go, we were in P3, but then unfortunately we crashed. That was heartbreaking. Right, that's gonna be quite a bit of an improvement.
That time was a 146.22.
Nice. So that wraps up my first video in Le Mans Ultimate. And honestly, as I mentioned before, I kind of feel bad about having been so kind of pessimistic about this. I mean, I had my reasons, but it's obviously that this sim did come to life, and from what I can tell so far, it's awesome. I'm really enjoying it. I have not tried any online racing yet in this sim, but I'm looking forward to trying that. I'm looking forward to endurance racing in this. I mean, this is a sim specifically made for endurance racing, and specifically made to represent an endurance racing series. So yeah, I'm excited to see how the sim will do for that. But anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. So, till next time, here's the downforce, and see you soon.